Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Knowledge Keen, and today we are going to see a second part of our operators. In our last video we saw our arithmetic operator. Today we are going to start with our assignment operator, and that is equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, multiplication equal to, divide by equal to, and modulus equal to. We are going to see how these work, and let's start our program. We'll be continuing the same program that we started with in the operators, and I'll be going to show you the same program. If you have not seen that video, I would like you to see that video first. I think the link would be in the somewhere up here. So here we go. Let me clean this program because as we don't need this. Okay, we have already seen our first assignment operator, that is our equal to, right? So basically whenever we declare a variable where a equal to 10, so what I'm doing is I'm already assigning the value 10 back into a variable a. So basically what we are doing is we are allocating some memory to a. So variable a has now the value equal to 10. So what we are doing, we are assigning some value to a variable. That means we are doing the assignment. Okay, so we can assign variables, we can assign numbers, we can assign strings, booleans, objects, null, undefined, and various other things, right? We have seen this. So now let's jump on to our second assignment operator, that is our plus equal to. This is an assignment operator, but let's consider it something as a shorthand. Okay, so how this plus equal to works? Let's take an example that I have a number 10 and I want to increment 5 into it, right? So a equal to 10 plus a equal to 10 plus 5, right? But here what we are doing is we are always considering that we have 10 and then we have 5, but that wouldn't be the case, right? Instead of 10 plus 5 I would have done it directly as 15. So what I want to do is I want to increment the value of a. Okay, I'm not increment the value of 10, I'm increment the value of a. That means now a is having 10, I want to add 5 in a, not in 10. Okay, so that would be a plus 5. I have in the previous video I have already said that whenever you have something like this, okay, your assignment operator will come last. So whatever it is on the RHS, your right hand side will be evaluated first, that would be calculated first, and then it would be put back into your left hand side. So now what is a? A is already having a value of like 10, right? And what I'm doing, plus 5. So it would basically consider something like this, 10 plus 5 only in the back end, okay, in the background. So a plus 5. So now if you try to print console.log a, so your answer would be, let me just zoom this out, refresh. In your console, your answer is 15. So how you got this? We already had an explanation. So right hand side is evaluated first, a equal to 10. So your a is now what? 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. This is calculated first. A is put again, this whole value, the whatever I have selected is calculated and put it back into a. So now a is 15. Okay, but this is a bit lengthy. To make this the same thing short, let me comment this out. We have seen what are comments. If I comment this out, the value would be 10. That means the line in green is never executed. Okay, so I have commented it out. If I want to do it the same thing, I can do it in a short way, that is plus equal to 5. Okay, in short what this line says is a equal to a plus 5. The same thing that we have written above, okay, the same thing can be done in a short way, that is a plus equal to 5. And if you want to see the answer, let me just quickly change. So you can just concatenate this new answer so that we just see some change. Save it and refresh it. See again the new answer. So your answer is changed and 15. That means this thing does the same thing as this one. Okay, so basically this is a shorthand. So don't get confused. Now we have a minus equal to 5. That means what would be this line? A equal to a minus 5. Okay, if you do it, let me comment this out too, or let me just quickly just remove this. If you want to see, okay, what would be the answer? So a equal to a minus 5. That is, now a is 10. So let's consider the RHS. A is 10. 10 minus 5 is, your answer should be 5. See? In the same way, you also have like multiplication 5, division 5, modulus 5. Okay, modulus equal to, basically it's not 5, it's not always 5. You can just put any value and you'll get an answer. So if I say 3, your answer will be 1, because if you divide 10 by 3, the remainder is always 1. So what it is doing is, again, a last explanation, this is similar to a mod 3. Okay, so this is what your assignment operator is. It's quite easy and it's quite understanding. So if you still need some more explanation on this, please do let me know in the comments. Let's jump on to our second operator. Basically today's second operator, but overall third in our list, that would be our comparison operator. So we have like equal to, triple equal to, not equal to, greater than sign, less than sign, greater than equal to, and less than equal to. So we are gonna see all. Let's jump on to into our program and let's test out our first operator. So I'll declare two variables where a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Okay, so just by looking into this, can anyone tell me whether both are equal? No, right? Anyone can, just looking at them, anyone can say 10 is never equal to 20. But how our program will understand this? Okay, so if we want to check this, we'll just print out a double equal to b. This evaluation, okay, now it is not single equal to. Single equal to is assignment. You're assigning something into a variable, but double equal to is conditional, or basically you're checking something, okay, checking the equality between these two variables. So now a is 10 and you're checking if it is equal to b. Okay, a double equal to b, it will always and always return something which is boolean. So either it will say it is true or it will say it is false. Okay, the output of this program will always be either true. So if it is equal, it will just say it's true. If it is not equal, it will just say false. So you already know our answer. Okay, that would be false. Okay, so a is not equal to b. Correct? Now I'll give you another example. Okay, so instead of here 1, pause my video over here and think for a minute and just tell me what would be the answer. Okay, you can just mention in the comment what would be the answer, what you think, and after thinking for a moment, and we'll just going to reveal the answer. So now 1 equal to true. The answer that you get is true. That is something interesting, okay, because JavaScript, it's quite interesting. JavaScript does not understand your boolean value. Okay, what JavaScript does behind the scenes is it converts the boolean values into ones and zeros. Okay, only the boolean values. So don't get me wrong, okay, or don't get confused, but only boolean true is converted to 1 and boolean false is converted to 0. So if you want to see this, we can again say console.log 0 equal to false. This is also going to give us true. The first answer was true. The second one also is true, because now your 0 is false, your 1 is true. So both statements are correct. Okay. So always whenever you are just comparing something, okay, and if you're comparing it with a boolean value, you should always remember that true will automatically get converted into 1 and your false will automatically get converted into 0. How to tackle this? The easiest way what JavaScript thought was to add another equal to. Okay, So what this another equal to does is, okay, so let's check out what this another true does. First, okay, my first question and my second question. So what here it will do is it will compare. Let's add some extra brackets so that they would be evaluated first. Okay, brackets are always evaluated first. The basic rule of mathematics, bottom mass, brackets are always going to be answered first. So this is our bracket which takes the priority and that would be answered first. So now what triple equal to is going to do is, and remember this is a very important question because these questions are asked into interviews. Okay, whenever you have some whenever you go through some interviews, any basic interviewer is going to ask you the basic understanding of JavaScript's double equal to and triple equal to. Okay, and this is the only difference that you can see that I'm going to show you right now. So 1 is a number, we already saw this. Okay, and true is a boolean value, one of our video in a series, data types. So 1 is a number and true, so it is going to have two checks. The first, it's going to check its values. Okay, what triple equal to does is it's going to do two checks. Okay, the first check would be of value. Number 1 is equal to true. Okay, so the first check it is going to do is, let me just put some comments over here. The first check, okay, the first check would be check the value, and the second check it would be doing is check the data type. So this is what your triple equal to does. Double equal to will only check the value, but triple equal to will check the value as well as it will check the data type of both the numbers. Okay, so 1 equal to true, your first check is correct. Okay, this passed. Why? Because we already saw this, 1 is equal to true, true automatically gets converted to 1 and 1 is equal to 1, yes. So this check is passed. But we are talking about triple equal to. It does another check that is of the data type. Now 1 is a number and true is a boolean. So what it checks is number equal to boolean? No, this check will fail and the answer to this output would be false. I'll just remove the second one, we don't need this. So the answer to this program would be false. If you want to see this, let's quickly run this and see what exactly I'm talking about. See, the answer would be false. Why? Because this is a number and this is a boolean, irrespective of if its values are equal. But if the data types are not matching, then definitely it is going to be false. Let's check with true is equal to true. Yes, the answer would be true because both the values are equal and both the data types are equal. If I check the same thing with 10, let's say 10 is equal to 10, triple equal to 10. So both are numbers, both are same, and both the data types are number is triple equal to number. So again the answer would be, if we just refresh it, the answer would be true. So this is how your double equal to and triple equal to works. This is the major difference that double equal to and triple equal to has, and this is an important question that could be asked into the interviews. Now let's jump into our next comparison operator, that is not equal to. So double equal to and not equal to is basically the vice versa of one another. So it's just the anonym of one another. So let's take an example. What if I say, let me just quickly add it to something like this, and I'm checking A triple equal to B. Is it true or false? It's definitely false because A is 10 and B is 20. 10 is equal to 20? No. But if I do the same thing, and let me just quickly change the question. Okay, let me just quickly ask this in a simple English format. Is A not equal to B? What do you think the answer would be? Correct, it's not equal to B, right? So the answer would be true. Refresh. See, is A equal to B? You just ask it in a simple English question and you'll get your answer directly. You don't have to overthink on it. Is A equal to B? No, that's definitely not. So it's going to return a false. Is A not equal to B? Right, it's not equal to B. So it's definitely going to return a true value. So if you just convert these comparison operators into a normal English words, you're gonna get your answers. And let's go and see some other ones. Okay, these all are quite simple and easy. Is A greater than B? What do you think the answer is? A. Let me print that as well. Okay, I'm just doing the evaluations here itself. What will happen if you, instead of an plus, if you just put a comma, it's just going to add a space and print the value. There is nothing more complicated in this. Previously I was doing this and this, both are similar. It's just the difference of a space that you'll see. See, let me add some brackets. See, there is no space over here because I'm just adding a plus operator. I need to just again add a space or something, but you can, to make it more easier, just mention a comma. Just mention a comma and both these will be evaluated separately. That's it. It's simple. So let me quickly refresh and see. Is A greater than B? Is number 10 greater than 20? No. So it will again return a false. All the comparison operators return the Boolean values. Either it would be true or false. Let's do the same again. Is A smaller than B? What do you think it would be? Is A smaller than B? Is 10 smaller than 20? Yes, absolutely. See, it's true. A is smaller than 20. Yes, basically 10 is smaller than 20. There is another thing that we have, that is greater than equal to. Greater than equal to. So what do we do over here? Greater than equal to. That means we ask two questions. Is it greater than or is it equal to? So we are asking two questions again. The same thing that we did with triple equal to, we are going to do with greater than equal to. We are again going to ask two questions. One is A greater than B? If it is not correct, then okay. But is it equal to B? So it is going to do a two checks. So the number one check would be check if A is So it will do two checks. The first one is check if A is greater than B, and the second one is check if A is equal to B. So let's just quickly change the value B to 10 and let me comment out all the previous ones. We don't need this. See, slash star, and if I close with star slash, that means these answers will not be evaluated. So your program will just ignore these lines and only it will check the lines which are not into the star marks. So now what we have is A equal to 10 and B is equal to 10. So what it is doing, is A greater than B? No. So the first what it would think is it greater than B? No. Then it will check for another condition. Is A equal to B? Yes. So basically, if any one answer is correct, it will directly return the value as true. Let me quickly refresh it and see. 10 is greater than or equal to 10. So it is greater than equal to 10? Yes, because A is 10 is greater. It's not greater, but it is equal to 10. So that means if any one condition is satisfied, from both of these, if any one is correct, it will return a true. If I do the same again, if I change the value of B to 20, what will happen? It will just return a false. Is 10 greater than 20? No, that's the first wrong question. And is 10 is equal to 20. No, that's again a wrong question. That's again a wrong evaluation. So both of them are not correct. That's the reason it is just returning a quick false. Okay. And last but not the least, we also have less than equal to. So what do you think the answer would be now? I'm not going to change any value. So what do you think the answer would be? 10 is less than B. Yes, it is correct. And again it will check for the second value as well. Is 10 equal to B? No. But out of the both evaluations, the first one is correct. 10 is less than 20. So basically, if I just do a refresh, my output would be true. Easy. So these were all comparison operators. Now quickly jump on to our next operator, that is a logical operator. Logical operators are nothing but your conditions. Okay. So we have three logical operators, that is AND. AND is basically, let me quickly just clean this out. We don't need this. So we have AND, but it is written something like this. It is pronounced as AND, but it is written as double ampersand. Okay. Next is OR. It is pronounced as OR, but it is written as two straight standing lines. Okay. Two standing lines. The last but not the least, it is pronounced as NOT, but it's just a simple exclamation mark. Okay. You have to remember this. If you ask any programmer, they are never gonna pronounce this as double ampersand. They are always gonna say this is an AND. Okay, that's an OR. That's a NOT. Okay, if you see this sign, that means it's a NOT. It will basically just say the opposite of something which you have written. We are gonna see some examples. AND, OR, and NOT. These all are logical operators. Let's quickly see how these work. Okay. Now I'm going to just print some value. A, again let's go back to our same example. A equal to 10, B equal to 20. If I save this, we have A is 10 and B is 20. Console.log. Okay. Let me evaluate this. Is A greater than 10? Okay. Whenever you are trying to write some multiple conditions, at that time your AND comes into handy. Okay. So AND will always evaluate two expressions. So this is our first expression. What I'm doing, I'm checking my first value. A is greater than 10 and B is greater than 20. What do you think the answer would be? Okay. So this would be evaluated first, the expression 1. In AND operator, expression 1 is always and always evaluated first, then it will just go for the second check. So is A greater than 10? No, so that is a false, right? And now it will check for the second expression. Is B greater than 20? No, so that is another false. So if both the answers are false, automatically your answer would be false. See? Okay. To understand AND operator quite easily, I have a small table that you can quickly refer to. Okay. Let me just present it to you. If you see this table, okay, there is expression 1 and we have expression 2. So if the first expression, the example that I showed you previously, if considering that first expression, the first check, if that is true and if the second answer is also true, so just making it more simpler, if A is equal to 10 from a program, if A is double equal to 10 and B is double equal to 20, so both the conditions are correct. So this is true and this is true. So if both the conditions are correct, automatically it will evaluate the whole answer to your third expression. So basically expression 1 and expression 2 would combine and make the answer as true. Let's quickly check it. See, it is true because from a program expression 110 is equal to expression second. So the first one is true, the second one is true. Automatically my answer would be true. My answer would be true. Okay. Now out of both of them, and is quite interesting because if any one expression is false, any one, the first one or the second one is false, your total answer would always and always be false. So let's quickly change this to, let's say, greater than equal to. No, greater than. Okay, because equal to will always return true. So this will be evaluated first, as I said. This is, let me quickly try to write this something below it. This is true, right? And this is false, correct? So the first expression is true, the second expression is false. So the total answer would be, going back to our table, true and false will always return false. Just quickly save this and go to our answers and see, that is false. Coming back to our original, we'll change the numbers. If A is greater than 10 and B is equal to 20, right? So now the first expression is false, the second expression is true, but still my total answer false and true is false. If you just refresh this, the answer, total answer is false. And if we have already seen this, if both answers are not correct, okay, the overall answer that you get is not correct, that is false, right? So this is how your AND operator works. I'll quickly give you an example. Think over it and let me know what do you think the answer would be. Okay, pause for a moment, think over it, and then review, just play it to know the answer. The answer to this program is quite interesting. Okay, here I'm not checking any conditions, right? There are no conditions. Like I'm just printing 5 and 10. So your program comes into a behavior something like this. Then what your program does is, it will just ignore all the conditions and think this value as true. So 5, yes, that is something which is a value, that is no conditions. If it is a value straightforward, then it will evaluate it as true. So 5, that is something which is the return answer is true, and 10, that is true, but in this case it will not return true or false. It will return the last number that is given to it. Your answer would be, let's go and check it out. Console.log. Okay, let's change the name of a variable same. Let's run the same program and see X and Y. The answer to this program would be 10. See, because there are two numbers 5 and 10, so both are correct. Okay, both are correct, there is no conditions. So 5 and 10, so the answer would be 10, straightforward, the last check that you are going to pass it to it. Okay, this is something interesting and tricky. You can take it as an interview question. Next, let's jump on to our next logical operator, that is OR operator. Okay, if I change the same condition to an OR, so what OR does is, okay, what an OR condition does, so the same thing, it will just have two expressions. It will check the first and second expression, but what it will do, if, remember this, if any one condition is true, the answer would be true. Okay, so going back to our previous example, so going back to our previous AND while example, if A equal to 10 and B equal to 20, when both are true, AND will do is, if AND will return true if both the conditions are true. OR will do exactly the opposite. Okay, if any one condition is true, then it will return true. Okay, so I'll just quickly change this. Now both my conditions are true, right? So it's definitely going to return a true. Let me quickly change. If A is equal to 10 and B is greater than 20, so now the first condition is true but the second condition is false, right? In this scenario, if the first condition is true and second condition is false, it will still return true because out of both of them, any one condition is true. So if you see, if you just refresh, the still answer is, your answer is still true. The same if you do vice versa. If b is equal to 20 and a is, let me quickly say, is 10, greater than 10, it will still return true. It will only return false if both the conditions are not correct. This condition is false as well as this condition is false. If both the conditions are false, then automatically your OR operator will return a false. See, that's interesting. Many people usually get confused between and OR. So you just remember it with a straightforward statement. And will only return true if both the answers are correct. Okay, both the answers are true. Both your expressions are true. Or will return true if any one expression is true. That's it. Okay. In else case, if both are false, anyways. In and OR, if both are false, it's the false. Let's go back to our same previous example. What do you think now this answer would be? Pause, think over it and let me know the answer in your comments. As I said, these are not conditions. These are just numbers, or these are just straightforward statements. So it will just execute any one of it. So now again, similar to AND, it will always evaluate first and then it will jump on to second. So it evaluates the first, it automatically gets it true. It will just return it as it is. So if I just run this example, the answer to this program would be 5 because it has evaluated first as a true. In both the programs, okay, in AND operator as well as in OR operator, if your first condition is true, okay, then AND operator will still check it for the second expression, but OR operator will not. Okay, that's a trick and very important point. OR operator will never jump onto a second evaluation, second expression, because the first is always true, right? So if any one is true, it is definitely going to return the value as true. This is a trick question for an interview. Last but not the least, NOT operator, it will just return the vice versa or the opposite of whatever you are passing to it. So if I'm passing it as true, it will give me false. If I'm giving a false, it will just return me true. To make it more simple, okay, I'll just say console.log. If I just say true, my output is true, but if I say not true, okay, not true is false. Easy. Okay, so let's stop our video till now, okay, till our logical operators, and we'll continue the remaining part, ternary and type of operator, into our next session. For now, that's it. Thank you guys, and please do subscribe, click on the bell icon, like us, and comment us what you like into this video, and take care. Have a good day. Bye.